What's up, everybody out there in YouTube land? It has been a wild week since the last Fast Down Facebook show. We had another Voodoo pre-sale, which I finally got in on, so we'll be seeing how those things roll. And here on the channel, we just passed 2 million total views, and we're at about 8,700 subscribers. I cannot thank you guys enough. Now, let's get fast on Facebook. My name is Chad, the Dorky in 40 RC channel, and we're going to make you faster today. So there's some excitement in the air brewing here. If you see Saturday, it's going to be like 70 degrees here. So I have got some furious bench stuff going on. It's going to be finishing up some stuff on the DR10, and then I'm going to get the breakout out and start doing some shock cleanup and transmission cleanup to get that thing out this weekend and see what we can do. Super excited to finally get the cars out. I'm not expecting a lot because there's so much salt on the roads, and who knows if we're even going to be able to prep. It's probably going to be like instant sugar cookie, but just getting the car out is going to be great. So yeah, the Voodoo pre-sale went live last night, and I was able to get all 3 sets to try out, all the different colors and softnesses and all that stuff like that. So I'm pretty excited about that. I probably am going to give away a pair of those here on the channel. So make sure, if you are not subscribed, go ahead and click that sub button so that way you can be a part of that. Now, Voodoo, of course, is not the only tire in the game now. We've heard rumors that Proline is working on a softer compound. People are actually testing these right now on the reactions, which could be a game changer. You know, I ran sub 2 seconds on reactions with foam, so I'm not going to hate on them at all. I am excited, of course, to try those Voodoos. I am excited to try these cereals. I have not actually put an order in for them yet. The problem with the cereals is that they have a matching rim, and you know, you're looking at nearly $100 a set compared to putting together your average set of tires. It's almost twice the cost. But you know, we're going to see how these things go. Seems like the guy's a really great guy, and he's going to be putting these out there, and they're going to be available for people. Registration began last night for the Straight Line Showdown in Wisconsin. Looks like it is going to be July 28th through the 31st, and I believe there is a lot of registrations already. I haven't seen the total amount. We can take a look here and see if there is an actual list, and it looks like there is an entry list. So here are all of your people for the different classes, and a lot of the big names are on there, and it is filled up. Man, drag racing is going to be hot and heavy this year. People are ready to rock and roll. So on to a few product announcements. Shark Body has released some CAD drawings of their new body that's going to be coming out called the Stinger, which looks oddly familiar. Not sure about having that hood cowl there, since I know that's one of the things that Frank Greer made possible and showed that you could actually get so much more speed out of your C7 if you remove that. So we'll see, but you know, there is a nice profile when it comes to it being aero. I've seen people talk about the wing sticking above the roof. It's kind of hard to tell by these CAD drawings and everything like that, but we'll see. That's a pretty big wing. I like that it's just going to take all that rear end out. Aero, in my opinion, is just going to be one of the things that is totally going to be key this year. Now that our cars are going so fast, we have to create some kind of stability, and the body is going to be the key to that. So our friends at Tekin are jumping back into the game. They're trying to elevate the once dominant RX8 ESC with version 295 of their drag software, giving us a full 60 degrees of timing now. Now, this is a big deal, especially they are coming right out and saying off the bat that when you update 295, they will not warranty their ESC at all. That's a trend that we're going to be seeing from every manufacturer right now. I know right now McLaren is the only people that offer a $150 replacement. I think that is fair, and I would like to see other manufacturers do that. I don't like the fact that, like, if you just blow something up, then you're out of it. You know, that's just my opinion. So I have an RX8. I don't plan on throwing it into anything right now. Of course, I still have the Castle and the DRK in the DR10. So this is something that we'll see how it develops and how people like it. And maybe we will pick up on it here in another couple months. So let's start somewhere different tonight, huh? Let's start with Facebook's most ominous and fun drag group, which is the RC No Prep Junkies. This is where you get a lot of roundabout discussion, and you better be careful what you post, because some people will definitely hop all over you. Some awesome builds that are going on here, some Voodoo tires, a lot of people asking different questions as always. I see some people looking and asking about programming the FlySky Noble. That's pretty interesting. I would like to see more people sharing things like that, because people ask about them quite a bit. Same thing with the lower end Futabas and the lower end Sanwas. So it's good to see that people are putting information out there and asking some questions about all that kind of stuff. Again, as usual, a lot of stuff for sale out there, guys. A lot of race announcements and everything else like that. So if you guys are in the market for anything, make sure you browse through the groups real quick before you pull the trigger on something new, because you might be able to get a good deal out there on something. Last week, we had the Lone Star Showdown, and there was a huge controversy with the actual finish race, because it was not an instant green, and there has been a ton of discussion on this video, 314 comments on it. The pro tree, in my opinion, is kind of a rough one. I would just rather have instant green and just people have go, because I mean, you know, if people practice on the same tree, I don't know, it gets into a very debatable topic, but I feel instant green to me is just the way that we should be doing these things. Heads up timing and stuff like that, I kind of don't like anyway, unless we're doing bracket racing. So why add even more fuel to the fire when you can just have an instant green and call it a day, and you know who won on the other side without any controversy at all at the starting line, talking about breaking the light beams and everything else. Moving on to the Nprc experience, and again, tire conditioners. A lot of people are pushing different tire conditioners in prep right now. We've got JFab, my buddy that was a Castle runner, is now using the Castle motor with an R1 ESC. Very interesting. I see a lot of comments about people. I don't understand why they are so against Castle ESCs. I have nothing but love for it because it made me faster. I see a lot of people commenting on why you would need such a large ESC. The truth of the matter is that every one of these manufacturers would have an 8th scale or a 6th scale ESC out right now for drag cars if it were not for the pandemic and the interruptions to testing, distribution, building, everything like that. Castle was lucky because they had already had this thing in the works and they were getting ready to drop it for speed builders, and it just happened to work out good for us drag people. Jimmy trying to cash in on that 295 software action. Good job, Jimmy. More races, a lot of discussion about 13.5 and 17.5. I have not heard anything about those classes at all. I don't really know if anybody has ran one of those races yet this year. I think the only races that have been going on, of course, have been the ones out in California, in that whole Arizona area, which has been listed on here. And I think it's just all outlaw. Be really interesting to see where those classes go. I've seen there was some registrations for the straight line showdown, but who knows where it's going to go this year. And it looks like our friends at 5 Star are just always up to the same thing, working on products, testing products, and I believe testing the new versions of those before they even get released. So last week they finally released their new DR10 platform, and now it looks like they're actually doing some testing on some additions to that platform. I really like the way that this looks. I would have to say in some cases it would probably be better suited than my brisket chassis, just because I do like that you would be able to replace all that original stuff. But you know, when you start adding up the cost of all this stuff, you might as well go ahead and just build a breakout and a buggy kit. You know, unless you got a DR10, then you're kind of like, well, what do I do with my DR10? And we see a ton of people on the Castle page, of course, showing all of their awesome results with the 6400 kV motor. It might be pretty fast switch for me. I don't know how long I'm going to run the old 2.5 turn in there in the breakout chassis before I have to swap out to that Castle and just see what that baby is capable of, because it looks like it is crazy. So that is going to do it for this episode, guys. A lot of cool stuff this week. More always to come. I am going to get to wrenching so I can hopefully get ready for Saturday. So keep an eye out for those videos here on the channel. Thanks again, guys. We will talk to you later. Peace.